Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a trader, I've been around. I've seen the highs and the lows, the bulls and the bears. I've made my fortune and I've shed my tears. Pleased to meet you, hope you guess my name. I'm a whale in the crypto game. I'm a whale with a portfolio so fine. I'm a whale, always on the grind. I've traded Bitcoin, Ethereum too. I've shorted the market and I've made through. I've seen the FUD and I've seen the hype. I've made my profit and I've taken the ride. Pleased to meet you, hope you guess my name. I'm a whale in the crypto game. I'm a whale with a portfolio so fine. I'm a whale, always on the grind. I'm not a bot, I'm not a scam. I'm a trader with a plan. I'm not a whale, just a guy who's trying to make a buck and get by. I've seen the market crash and I've seen it soar. I've made my fortune and I've lost it before. I've learned from my mistakes and I've learned from my wins. I'm a trader and I'm always on the grind. To me, I hope you guess my name. I'm a whale in the crypto game. I'm a whale with a portfolio so fine. I'm a whale, always on the grind.
This coin on hash, this one's a blast. I'm too hot coin. Call me Satoshi's kin. Stacking sats, yeah, I'm cashing in. Traded up so clean from the dip to the peak. While it's flexing, hear the blockchain speak. Gas fees high, don't sweat. I still pay the price. Struggles drown me, but I roll the dice. Hold tight, real dip. Moon's my only scene. Crypto funds the king. I'm the trading queen. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Stop, wait a tick, check the candlestick. Bull runs coming, better move real quick. I'm too high, hot coin. Flip the dime to a stack. Whales can't stop me, got that miner's knack. Shit's on fire, so lit. Green lines all night. Almost kicking, I'm feeling right. Move, smooth moves to go. Through the dips I glide. Crypto funk's my jam, take it worldwide. Don't believe me, just watch. Come on. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Before I log off X tonight, gotta stake my ether right. Say my name, you know my game. Crypto funk's my claim to fame. From the block to the chain I rise. Moonshot gleam in my eyes. Call it out, east, west, north, south. Crypto funk's what it's all about. Don't believe me, just watch. Come on. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, funk the moon is fast. Crypto funk to make it last.
In today's world, there are two types of men that you will encounter.
Don't believe me, just watch.
You will encounter those that call themselves men, and then you will encounter those that aren't afraid to ring their cowbells. Those are the real men. Get your cowbell today. Tractor Supply, Amazon.com. Support your local cowbell manufacturer. Put a little happiness in your life. Make cowbells great again.
Crypto funk, moon is fast. Crypto funk, make it last. Crypto funk, stack that cash. Don't believe me, just watch.
I've never seen a Lambo in my hood. Ooh, yeah. Cut my teeth on sats, I knew I could. Ooh. My block's no throne, just grit and trades. Crypto's hum pumps through my veins. Hey. And every trade is like gold chains, moon gains, staking high. Hodling tight, bull flights, wallets fly. Ooh, we don't bow, we're stacking sats till we soar. And we'll rise as royals, crypto royals. This coin's pulse will
Ladies and gentlemen,
crown us.
please prepare yourself. The show is about to begin. Please turn off all cell phones. Dim the lights if you like. Try not to rub boogers or even elbow the person next to you. Please place respect. That's talking to you, Johnny.
I crash the dips, forge my rain.
All right.
Ooh, yeah.
Keep your hands to yourself, and we will begin the show.
Stakes, I broke the chain. Ooh. No
Miss Quickly, I gotta pee.
just code I claim, bull runs my fire.
Johnny, you had plenty of time before the show started to go pee.
But I gotta go really bad.
Like gold chains, moon gains, staking high. Hodling tight, bull flights.
Go ahead, Johnny.
fly. Ooh, we don't bow, we're stacking sats till we soar. Ooh, and we'll rise as royals, crypto royals. Ooh, this coin's pulse will crown.
Oh, you're waiting on me again. As always, Sean. As always. Waiting on you. That was a hint, Sean. Oh, you mean right now?
For those of you out there that have hit that like button, I should say thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome everyone to Late Night Crypto the Road Dog. Looking here at Bitcoin at 102,000. It got up to 103 something there. Wow. What can you say but wow? I'm on the 4 hour. This is the 4 hour chart. I didn't start out on the 6 minute. It was like, whoa, look at it. That's nice. That's really nice. Now, and then we pointed out a couple of weeks ago, but especially I think just recently, last week, right, when we got this 2 week dot, that little 2 week dot. It's like, oh well, I can't ignore that. That means something good looks like it might be coming. This was a pleasant surprise. Got to say, right? Excuse me, there. Got a frog in my throat. The turkey's got a frog in his throat. So the whole time we've been watching Bitcoin getting scared and everything, even from way back here. The Ichimoku cloud has always looked really good. Still looks really good on the weekly. Just really nice and strong. It's been one of the things that's been keeping me kind of bullish and healthy. We hadn't come into it like we had the last time. This was last cycle, got really close to it, and that gets all scary and stuff. We've had some good, we came close, but we've had some good distance from it. It's been one of the things I've been watching, and watching it is it looks like it wants to make another layer up, another tier up, and isn't that what we're doing with Bitcoin? Zooming out on the weekly, you would think that that looks interesting. Higher highs and higher lows and whatnot. You can also, you know, I like to put this little guy out. He's kind of fun to play with. I like to play with him. He's fun to play with. Nice parabolic shape week over week. since the bottom's over here at 15,000. It knew it was going parabolic all the time when we sit over here and kind of doubt it. And no, we're going back to 20,000. We're going back to 30,000. We're going back to 40,000. We'll hit 50,000, 70,000. I mean, but it's been a nice parabola when you can zoom out and see it there. Been holding to it really nice. And the way that this works in theory is, I think some people call it a step pattern or a parabolic move. There's usually about 5 steps. I don't always see them work out that way. I've seen them work out before, like 2017 was definitely a nice parabolic movement out of Bitcoin, and with the blow off top and everything. And hopefully that's what we'll get, to get the nice big blow off top on that big number 5 bump up. So far though, I mean, if we're looking at this and kind of zooming out, and I think it's a good time to zoom out, I think you could argue that we got 3 steps out of the way there. And what that could significantly, what that could possibly mean is, you know, we come up and get another one, and then ultimately a blow off top, and then woo, spike it up, and then that, you know, just like every other parabola that we see on every other asset that we look like when we get something like that and that big blow off top. Now you can kind of picture it, right? Because you've seen it on other assets. And then what happens is that, well, then we start entering the bear market. And you think, oh, it'd be easy to know, but no, it won't be. Everybody be saying, oh, lower highs, we're going up again, and, you know, are looking for something else. And we just kind of find ourselves into the bear market after a point. You're like, oh, crap, I guess we're in the bear market. Yeah, all right, well, not going up. Oh, man, I should have sold higher. All those feelings start coming into the way. But after a parabolic move and down and sideways is how I best describe that. So might we be working on something like that? When I would say that it's starting to, when you zoom out, yeah, it looks a little bit more easier to see it. So I'm not normally do the weekly, but since we're here, let's talk about it. We're above the 9 moving average, above the 21 moving average now with the recent pump. So that's nice. You know, the 9 is curving around. Now it's going to cross. It should, well, God willing and price willing, we get the bullish cross of the 9. Let me zoom in over here. So small I can't see it. I doubt that you can see it, especially if you're on the phone. This green moving average here is our 9 moving average. When we're above the 9, everything's fine, right? I mean, it is, right? That's why I say it. We're very far above it now. So eventually, hopefully, we should be working for it to get a bullish cross in the 9 over the 21 on the weekly time frame. Now, that might happen next month or a month or 2 down the road. I don't know how long it'll take, but that's good. Bounced off the 50, didn't go below the 50. That was the scare right there when we were coming down to it. Is it going to hold us? Or are we going to fall? Because that would start being bad news, losing the 50. Then, because on a big move, that 50 is as low as you want to go. That's deep ass retracement. Even here on the weekly, that's on every time frame. That's deep ass retracement. If you lose the 50, your move's probably over, in danger, or it's not. The stuff is over. But when you're above the 9, some people have lost stock in the 21. Now she kind of straggles around. That 9 hugs price just perfectly, I think. Some people go smaller. They go 3 or a 5. Yo, boy, here goes with the 9. 9 is that magic number, always returning to itself, always full of mystery. We like the 9. We go with the 9. Okay, so we're zooming out, and we got the bounce, and it looks so fluid here on the weekly, right? I know, and think, why don't I zoom out more? Why don't we? A lot more fluid, you know. So we get down and we get into all the chop, and then all the chop is where all the bad decisions are made and where all the money's given back and all the chop. But zooming out and seeing where all the money's made is on those nice big swings, and we've had a nice one. And it's been interesting whether you can get the balls to get in when it's low down here, being too cautious, not, you know, or having PTSD. You know, there's a lot of things that come into play when it comes to fighting the psychology of getting in and building positions when things are cheap and on the low. And then you got the argument about whether it should be in Bitcoin or altcoins, because Bitcoin's going to take off and altcoins are going to suck, but they're not. They will suck, but they will suck in comparison to Bitcoin. They'll still go up in dollar value. But they do have their own troubles to go with right now too, don't they? Overall, on the weekly, things are looking good. I like to come down to the 3-day. I like to just take it down, kind of give us a feeling for what we might be headed to, because we were just hoping for just a little come up and then a higher low. We were hoping, you know, with all that we've been through, with all this down and everything and all the pain we've been through, and especially from being through this back here before. Remember this rodeo last summer? My goodness. It makes you, it's kind of crazy to think, you know, that your portfolios, some of you, and I think some of you guys understand what I'm talking about. Your portfolios, you had more money in your portfolio back here, and now that Bitcoin is up way up here, you're like, how did that happen? How did that happen? Because you're mostly in alts, that would do that. I've got that same situation in my altcoins too. Bitcoin has been the one that's been outperforming and excelling in this nature. And she looks good, making higher highs and higher lows. So we can zoom out still here on the 3-day. We were, like I said, we were hoping down here, we weren't hoping for much, right? Just to get a higher high, higher low, and maybe we would, you know, kind of walk our way out of here. Nope. She said, I'm gonna go for the gusto. And I gotta admit, she's up higher than, I mean, we talked about the possibilities of these areas, and that she would find resistance and probably roll over. We're at one of those areas, and she's saying, hell, I ain't done yet. And so we're like, what? Okay. Now we're getting into a hairy area here. This is where it's starting to get a little bit tricky. Now we're at known reversal areas, the 786 and 886 area, Fibonacci area. Okay. The 786 getting reversed there, I'm cool with that. Come down and make a higher low. That would be idea. I don't know. Maybe we come back to the 88,000, 90,000, somewhere there, close that little CME gap or whatever. And then, woo, you'd say, look, we made an inverted head, and bottom reversal pattern on the top. Yeah. Look, we made another earlobe or whatever you want to call it, a higher low. How about that? That usually works. That would be great. But now we're getting into some iffy territory that, well, if we're not going to get rejected here, if we go up to the 886, that might open up a window for something else if we get rejected there. Okay? That brings us into where we went up as high as we could, and we couldn't make it higher high over here. We made a higher low. What comes after a higher low? We could be in danger for that. I mean, that's kind of the extreme, but it does put it on the radar for a lower low. I mean, yeah, we still got the same arguments we're looking for over here to make a higher low, do that, or maybe even, you know, expand this range out, or a lot of different scenarios, or even, you know, just continue in this range. We got a lot of different scenarios we could still be looking at here. But it does, I think it is a little bit trickier, say, if we just make a lower high here. So if we're going to not get rejected here at the 786, if we're going to keep flirting and coming up, we need to go ahead and knock this guy out. Just go ahead and get our higher high in. And depending on what chart you're looking at and taking fibs from, I'm coming up with about 111 and maybe 113 and 114 on certain charts. I've also got a measured move that's giving me 113, 114,000 there. Just from this idea as a rising wedge that we are breaking bullishly out of, and if we do, that is definitely a sign of parabolic activity, a rising wedge, a bearish pattern breaking bullishly to the upside, strong moves, and I would dare say that I could see us going up here to touch this guy if we did something like that at 120. If we actually do a breakout of that trend line there, that could be amazing. Now, I am struggling with my Ichimoku cloud over here because I'm saying, I'm not seeing it, and I don't see it on this one yet. She may see it on a different time frame, but this time frame, she said, I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing we're kind of chop. So maybe you're hinting that we get the Ichimoku cloud's throwing a hint that maybe we get a pullback here. So far, it looked like we were getting rejected over there, but now I'm not so sure. We're still here at 102.8. Is that where our price is? And I think my line is at 102 on this one. These are just some ideas I've been looking at as we're starting to come up, because we did really good. We did really good. You know, W bottom here. We made a lower low, and what that does is it over here. This is the idea. Now, this is a harmonic pattern, right? And I am not an expert with them, but what I do does overlap. And it does overlap with this idea. And what I see is, you know, we came down, we got rejected at the 382, okay? We came down to a lower low down here, which was our 113. And what I would be looking for, which one should I use? It doesn't matter. I guess I can use this. This 2-2, no, you're not it. 223 area. I think you're there's an easier way to do it than this. This excuse me. 2.23 area, which is somewhere around 106. Also, which is the 886. That's the easier way to do it. They kind of overlap, correspond there. Square up, I guess you would say. Pulling the fib from here to here, that 886. This little purple line right there, and then they come out to be right the same thing. So if that be true, this is supposed to be a bearish shark pattern. Now, the tricky thing about it is that this is according to harmonic theory, and I'm not, like, again, I'm not an expert on harmonic theory, but what I do does overlap. Technically, this gets into subjective activity, because from what I've studied, which is very basic with this, there's a degree to where it can, you know, it could be here. There's a couple of little areas, so it could actually come up even higher. And I'm like, well, that doesn't help me out. But anyway, there is a bearish pattern for this W pattern that we have down here. This double bottom. This is what this is all based off of. Relationships fib-wise with these W's. Suggest that we come up here, and then, like I said, it's a bearish pattern. We get up there, and then we will have a pullback. And according to this idea, or this theory, if that happens, let's say it does come up, it wouldn't be a straight line like I'm drawing, but basically they take you back down, all the way back down to about the areas that we were at before, is the theory, from what I understand on these. I would be looking for your 786. I'm not sure how that relates to what they would look for. I guess they would probably be looking for another M top or a harmonic idea up there, or maybe just regular fib retracements too. But if we were to do something along those lines, and if let's say that we did come up to that area, yeah, about 80,000, 86,000, right around that 88,000, your 618 and 0.5 areas, that would be your sweet little spot to start looking for. And that's 86 to 90,000. So maybe we do. So that's the situation I'm trying to point out. If we don't make a higher high, we'd be making a higher low. The 886 is kind of the extent of that, unless we want to break through and go to 114. Either way would be fine, but we should be getting kind of close to where we're going to do something. And we haven't had a I'm ready to stop right now moment here at the 786 fib. Maybe you'll tire out and just hang out. You know, we are going into the weekend. That is the one thing. Today is Thursday. We had chart school tonight. Yay! If you were there, thank you very much for being there. We went over divergence tonight as best I could. I may feel like I may have to go over that one again. I started with my microphone off, and it threw me off my game. And I was like, that'll do it. So that's me ideas on Bitcoin. We might squeeze up just a wee bit more. And it's looking like it might want to. I'm just saying, it's looking like you might want to. The moving averages, though, here we are on the daily. Let's take a look at them. We got a bearish cross 100 over 200, so that kind of sandbags us a little bit. 50 is still under the 200, so we're still bearish on those contents. So those are two ideas that could also bring us back to the area that they are in, which is that area we looked at where we might be coming back to, right? Our 0.5618 area if we reverse from 106. So we got that. But I think the most interesting thing is, and what I think I will start doing more often than not, is look at this particular chart. And I've done this quite a bit. This is the CME Micro Bitcoin Futures. I think it's ticker. Why does it always keep going off? Canvas, we need to put watermark. Okay. It's the ticker symbol is MBT1 exclamation point on TradingView. But the reason that I like this is the CME futures, the big boys. They don't trade on the weekends, and that affects how these indicators and candles, basically, they don't get weekend candle action, right? And that's why we get the CME gaps and all that stuff. You hear about that. There is still we got, is it 2 gaps? I don't think that's a gap. We still got this gap around 91 to 92,000 right through there. From a weekend, and chances are that will get filled. A lot of times they regularly get filled, and there's even gap trading strategies out there. Trade the gap. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen anytime real soon, but maybe if we hit the 106 area, that might be where we come back, fill the little gappy gap, maybe retest this little area and go on. Those are just some ideas there. But anyway, I like this chart because the indicators are a little different. I just wanted to talk about the gap real quick there. And man, they look a little bit easier to look at, to recognize, even maybe to forecast from, if you get what I'm playing down. Going by the futures chart is kind of give you a little bit more accurate information, and this is what the big boys are going by anyway. I mean, the big boys playing the CME futures. When it comes to trading commodities, WD Gann said, look at the futures chart to kind of get a better gauge of what your spot price is going to do. Because that's what they're for. They're futures, but these are perpetual futures, so you don't have to close them out and reopen them and stuff like that. Something to a little thing that kind of Bernie Madoff kind of brought to the space. All right, so up 106. Possibly. I look at how beautifully we bounced off the 200 moving average. We were never below it, never closing the candle below it. On our other chart that we're on, we were damn sure below it and scared below it, and that's one a lot of the reasons. And a lot of people make decisions based on that idea too. And I find it interesting that they didn't have to make those decisions over here. And they seem to have a little bit more insight to what's going on. It looks good. I'm just saying, their chart looks better than our chart. We should be jealous. I'm jealous. Your chart looks better. We're strong above the 9. The 21 looks like it's starting to encroach on the 100 moving average. That'll be another bearish cross, and that could be enough to get us up here, maybe more. I don't know. 200. I mean, the moving averages look beautiful. Where are my big ass moving averages? Here we go. How many do we get? Those are gorgeous too. So when we look over here on the daily chart for MBT1 exclamation point CME Bitcoin futures, it looks hella bullish. I ain't gonna lie. And I've got on these, when I pull my fibs, I got 114 and 119. Let me just double check that. Of course, they're also saying price is $103 right now, where everybody else has got 1027. So yeah, 114 or 120 possibly over here, what we're looking for if we go past 106. So with Bitcoin, the rising tide rises all boats, and our altcoins are doing pretty good too. And I went over this briefly in chart school, but now we came out of a following wedge. If you want, we broke a trend line right here, right? Even another one if you want to redraw it a different way, but that was the main one. Came back and retested it, in my opinion. And we're also getting a bottoming pattern. Now we've actually kind of confirmed that is a inverted head and shoulders. If you can squint your eyes and see it right there, we actually got that in. Measure move for that little guy takes us up, meaning that billions of dollars could be coming into altcoins. Put that at the breakout. Takes us right up here about $101 trillion, and we're at 861 billion. So that's several more $1 billion that could be coming into altcoin to meet that target. What I like is that I was watching this trend line here, this red one. Perhaps we should go to our bigger thing and come over to total 3 here. And when she was losing that trend line, it looks different over here, don't it? I was very concerned about all of that and looking for some lower areas and even giving her wiggle room or whatnot. Anyway, this would have been the trend line. Let me get rid of this. I got too much stuff over here. It's confusing enough, right? These were some lower areas we're looking at possibly coming back down to, especially if she was going to mirror something like what she did over here. I thought that maybe she had a good chance to come down and be a little bit more symmetrical in this possible, you know, head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders pattern here. Instead, she decided, hell no, I'm going to break out now. So we got a tiny little gimpy little shoulder over here and a breakout. And right now here on the daily, we're below the 200 moving average. We're testing this. So we might get a pullback. Okay. This, if you are up in your trades and everything, I'm just saying it might be advantageous to pay yourself just a wee little bit, take out just a wee little bit, even though we might still go up. Maybe we'll break through it. Bearish cost 100 over 200. These other guys, they're starting to come around. At some point, I mean, even if we go up just a little bit more, we should be coming back to retest it. And especially now, if we're looking at this inverted head and shoulders, now they've got something like a 65% chance to break to the upside and about the same chance, I think 64% chance to come back and retest the breakout. So what goes up will come down. It may even be this weekend's what I'm trying to hint at. We're getting ready for the weekend. If there's anything that we're doing for this show and my nightly streams, we're getting ready for the weekends. And last week I think they drove us up on Thursday, and then if I remember correctly, I think they started bringing us down on Friday, and the weekend was kind of lackluster and everything till the end. They'll be playing us, and usually they do whatever the opposite is they lead into. A lot of times, I don't know, it gets kind of crazy, but they set us up and try to take advantage of the retail traders on the weekend, and there's less liquidity, so anybody with big money, big whales and stuff like that can, they can have a go on certain coins and whatnot and play some games. So let's keep that stuff in mind. It's telling us we might, get rejected, and maybe over the weekend is when we come down and retrace. That's one idea. If she starts closing the candle or opening the candle above this line, we start seeing her getting a little bit more bullish on some of these other guys, like the 4 hour. We can gauge her over here. And say she gets above the 800 over here. Maybe she's trying to do something else there. But if I were to speculate, which I like to speculate a lot, I would say that we are at a good area for altcoins to maybe peel off a little profit. Over these next, I'd say the next 12 hours or so, we should see how high we want to go there. We should be getting close to a nice toppy top area. And why not? Because look, on the daily, a lot of these coins are up like crazy, all right? So this is like good times to be peeling off some profit and paying yourself a little bit, I'm just saying. Or it's number go back down and you say, oh, what happened? We rode a roller coaster. It's no fun. Ain't no fun ride, roller coaster. Fun go up, no fun go down. Stomach throw up. And so that's pretty good for the day. So for today, it's been a pretty good strong day. For the week, not bad. We're up even for the week. How are we looking for the month? Even, oh my gosh, look at some of these things for the month. 45%, 57%. But they had to fall down hard. But for some of these coins, man, crazy, ain't it? Crazy. Let me come over to the chat and say hello to everybody, because I've just been out here talking and blabbing, and we can get on track. 29 people hanging out. Thank you so much for hanging out here. Hopefully I'm giving you some helpful information to help you navigate the market. Now we start getting into the nitty gritty juicy. I think we kind of already went over Bitcoin mostly. We'll look at it again at the end of the stream, kind of getting some nitty gritty on that one too. She looks like she might have a little bit more gas in the tank there. And woo, baby. Let's see if we can get you there. We were trying to say hello to everybody in the chat, but the chat box disappeared over here. Scroll all the way up here to the top. Let's put live chat on. And we got Avi Medina. How's it going, Avi? Let's see. I think Chris Klein was here. You were the first tonight. Chris, how's it going? Woo! First again. Shout out to all you guys. I see Board PC Guy, Angels Guest List, Tommy T Leaders. Hey, Road Dog, are you rich yet? No, I thought I was getting there until all that crap happened a while back. Somebody didn't take profits in December like they should have. And we got Ruben Bravenbor. Hey, from New Zealand. Hey, welcome to the stream, my man. MG Motorsports. Baba Yas says, yes, it's going to be a pumping stream. And let me keep going down those. It says it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon over here. Avid Road Dog follower here. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'd like to go to New Zealand sometime. Cowbell. You need a turntable emoji for when you scratch the album to start the show, too. Oh, I didn't even think about that. So what we can do about that? Brave Expanse. Turn off the cell phone? Well, if we're watching on the cell phone, oh, that would be a conundrum. Good call. Crabcat. I think I'm still way back in the chat here. Smash the like if you love some turkey. Thank you so much. If hitting the like button helps these tiny channels to grow is what they tell me. I don't know. I don't get a whole lot of likes or a whole lot of growth. I'm trying to just maintain 1,800 subscribers right now.
Been hitting that like button. I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
It's always weird when you get to a round number because it doesn't stay there. It's like, you know, you finally get there, you go, oh wow, milestone, and then somebody unsubscribes, or 2 people unsubscribe. You go, oh man, and then you get one over, and you're like, yeah, and then you lose some, and it's just up and down, up and down, up and down. But 1,800 subscribers, trying to grow, and we've been here for 3 years. Honestly, I thought I would have a lot more than I do, but hey, I'm not for everybody, right? All right, so come back to the chat. That's where we were. We were in the chat. Diaz, how's it going? Hola amigos, ¿qué pasa, Road Dog? Hey, how's it going with you, my man? Are we still going to sell in May and go away? You know, that has got a history of being true. It really does. Even when it doesn't seem like it's the right thing to do, a lot of time it is. And then things pick up back, you know, get the October effect when people start coming back in. It is true. We talked about that last May. Nah, we'd probably be alright. So I can write it down. I'm cool. Yeah, we're gonna taking profits, but not nearly enough. And then we went through all that hell through the summer. We had the Bitcoin conference. I think we got a little pump toward that, and then during the conference, of course, usually every conference, and we got one coming up in May for Bitcoin, right? I heard somebody say something about a conference pump. I'm not looking at a conference pump. I'm looking for the conference dump. It may pump up into the conference, but after every conference, Bitcoin dumps. I've noticed. I mean, that's just what I've seen. So I wouldn't expect anything different from when is the one in May? It's in May, right? It's a few weeks ahead. So hey, there's something. Look, watch and see if Bitcoin doesn't. You know, she may look good going the weekend to the conference or something like that. It might even pump for that. But the day of the conference or the day that the conference starts, watch her start trickling down in the dump. I'm willing to bet on just from past action right there. So I'm curious, when is that? I need to look that up. Bitcoin, I think it's Las Vegas, right? 2025. It is May 27th through 29th. That would be... That would need to be on the day. I'll do it over here. So here's the 27th, that's the Tuesday, through the 29th, that's the Thursday. So this is the daily chart. So, what scenario could we be looking at if that were to happen, if we do get a dump? Where would these two meet? You would just kind of assume, because that's all we can do right now is make an ass out of you and me, and I don't mind doing that, that we might be in this channel until we're not. I mean, that's usually how I look at it. We're identify the channel, and we're usually in that channel until we're not. So I would explain, we're in that pattern until we're not. And I'm like, that's a cop out. So what might happen there? Let's see. We top of the channel is here at our target at 106, where we should get a pullback, and maybe it's not a severe pullback. Test 100,000. That looks likely. Or go sideways. Who knows what it's going to do? I mean, I don't know. I really don't. There's a Fibonacci. Maybe we say sideways above it. Could we? I could see a situation where we can maybe come up to get our higher high in, and then, wow, that would be interesting. This is one of the reversal points I would be looking for a higher high. That could give us our little possible 3 humps and a dump scenario, and then from there we could may just come around to 100,000 or just below 100,000 at that point. I don't know. That's an interesting thought. Anyway, the wherever it is, looking for that next higher low, and wherever it might be, I would look for the 0.5 area, maybe 618. Hopefully the 618. I doubt that we get it. But if we did go to say 114, 115 and pull back, 94,000, even 90,000 would be the area, same area that we got over here actually. Right around where that gap is. Remember that gap we talked about, that CME gap? So might we be working for an actual higher high and then CME gap? Or we're just going to keep going straight on up banana zone. Some people still looking for bananas, and that, I mean, I don't know that we know it can happen. We know it does happen, and maybe we still got a little. Maybe there's still some of that disbelief face going on. So I don't want to just say, nah, let's not rule it out entirely, because that's what we do with Bitcoin, right? That's just what it freaking does. Oh, you don't have it over here. You know, I mean, when she gets going, she gets a going, right? Where is the little bars pattern? Right here. Didn't do anything with it. So that's comparable to the move that we made last time, from here to there. That's a hellacious move. And we are I remember being back here, you know, where we're in our W and all this other stuff, and waiting for it to break out, wondering what's going on and trying to figure it out. And I remember warning, so be careful, because everybody will get full on bullish at these areas. And here I am. I'm full on, starting to find myself being full on bullish too. My reason though is not just because everybody else is. My reason is because we're above the 618 Fibonacci. So, and we are back into this zone over here. Technically back into a pattern, so that gives me reason to be more bullish than I thought that I would be. I was actually really thinking we would come down and do that. I think I mentioned that several times. I don't need to keep doing that. But the question is now, what are we going to do now? Now we're starting to get some ideas. We go up just a little bit, get a pullback, or we go up a lot more. And this could be a wild ride, ladies and gentlemen, wild ride. Let's get over to some altcoins. How about that? I thought we were in the chat and then I got lost. Sorry, guys. Brave Expanse, things are looking mighty fine for the weekly and 2-week Ethereum, precursor to alt season. I hope Ethereum has been doing pretty good, right? I think she's up above $2,000 now, right? Nice big candle there. And now all the people that were talking bad about Ethereum and how it sucks and everything, because you know, a lot of people were, and it does suck. I'm not going to lie, it does suck. It has sucked before in past cycles. Couldn't even use it because it's too damn expensive last cycle. Well, she's right at. This is the moment. This is the moment. We got our main trend line here that we're retesting. I bet you. Is it a 236? Or are you above it? Yeah, you're above it. Man, you do this every time. Why? I don't want text on my Fibonacci, dude. All right. Yeah, my next target for Ethereum is going to be 2430, but I don't think that's going to. I don't think she's planning on stopping there. If she gets back, if she gets there, she's going to be doing something hell of a less. If she can get back above the trend line, I would expect her to start working her way back up toward 3,000. Looks like 27 in that area is going to be a little tricky, but yeah, I can see 3,000 coming. But does she roll over here, or do we get over? And here we are on Friday, so I doubt that we see that happen over the weekend. I'm kind of curious. Maybe she'll just flag out there for the next few days. I'm on the daily chart for Ethereum. A great little place. It's a good place to take profit because you're at that point. Like, I don't know, is she going to go up or go down? And which will she go up or go down? I'm more inclined to think, based on these moving averages here, 800, 600, 300. Those are in bullish order. 200 is well, she's on the right side of most of them. She could be better, but it's enough that we could be, you know, be attracted back up to these areas here. 27. I'm going to go ahead and label you. To me, I think that's where we're headed. From what my moving averages are telling me. But, like I say, what normally would happen is that we would get rejected here. And maybe it wants to do some kind of bottom pattern. Maybe it wants to do something like that. I don't know. Maybe it will. So if we do get a pullback, it's okay. It's okay. We don't have to knock her out the first time, right? Our 9 and 21 moving averages are down here. So to come back down a little bit and then go in, that would be fine too. So either one of those situations are cool, but once we do get back above this red line, then she should be ready to book. I would like to see her do something more like this, and then that gives her a reason to get up here in these areas back to 3,000. And my personal opinion, I'm gonna have to retest this area. What's this, about 23, 24? This area here. So that'll be a little headache through there too, but if it gets above here, she should probably go up there first. I mean, pretty strong to that first level, my guess. Joe says it's been a long day. Going to try to get some rest, everyone. Not streaming tonight, my man. Good night, Joe. That was Joe, fellow YouTuber over here. Oh, did you change that? Oh, you get more subscribers to 2150, looks like. Cool. Hey, he's been working hard, putting out lots of videos over there and everything. Give him a like and a sub. Raven says this may be the last stochastic cross above the 20 on the 2-week for this cycle. Two-week. I don't think I'm. Oh, well, let me get my. I may not have noticed my. Wait a minute. It's a little different for me since I use this one. So 20 was right here. Yeah, that would right on 20 is magically right where that green dot is. Yeah, that's a nice. The rule of thumb for stochastics, yeah, you get above the 20% area, and technically that's your buy signal, and you come below 80, and that's technically your sell signal. Where's 80? And that's interesting. I've got that little. It's probably hard to see, but there's the green dot here, the little buy signal that prints on the 2-week for Bitcoin. We talked about that within the last week or something. That started making me feel a lot better about Bitcoin too when I saw that. Well, let's take a look at some of these gorgeous altcoins. Some of the things that have been popping off might be in your wallet that maybe you haven't noticed. I don't know. We're going to look at a few. We're going to look at a mix of things: game coins, some meme coins, some serious coins too, like top, big picks, the boring nerdy coins that supposedly make all the money. I think they will. Memes seem to get the quick as fast as attention, though. So take a look at Moonding here. Moonding! Hello. We're 49 minutes in the show. We got to do something better about that. Moonding! Looked like she was just skyrocketing up until you come to the 3-day and you say, oh, okay. 3-day suggestion, she's got a little way to go there to 1111. Can you hit 1111? Let's see. Well, here's some stuff that never worked out. We lost that trend line. That sucked. Sucks to be here. Now, I didn't think to do this at that time, but I believe that might have been one of them harmonical patterns right there. Would you be here? I'm trying to see if I recognize. Nah, I don't really recognize it. You got a lower high. Anyway. Let us work our fib magic over here. Get some targets. Moody. Okay, I see what you're doing right now. You had her 236 from her lower pool. Okay. Cool. Start out on the 3-day. Don't know why. I just happened to be there. It's going down to the 4-hour now to see what you're saying. 4-hour is getting rejected or finding some rejection, whether it's temporary or because it doesn't have to be. She could go up a little bit more, or she might just bounce from here, get rejected and come back down. Good area. She had through 236 area rejected from there, and then an 800 moving average. 800, 600, 300, still, and 200, still in bearish formation, but they're trying. They're trying. Just now coming to squeeze. I do see this one pulling back. So, ladies and gentlemen, for mooding, so she can come back to that 5-cent area, maybe to 5.7. That's where Lucy's hanging out. That's that little red line. That would retest this area down here, and that might happen. So let me see what you look like on the smaller time frames. You still got gas in the tank? Or are you about to play? You're still above the 9. I can't say anything bad about you other than you got falling volume and rising price. She spiked up, and then she's got the little channel coming up. I see that a lot lately. That seems to be a common occurrence here. Probably see it better here on the Bitcoin's doing a very similar thing too. And basically you got a trend line, which it is starting to, that's the easiest way to do it. You got a trend line that's starting to break, so I'm curious. She may do something. She may come down and you know, ride back up here a little bit and then come back down. So there might be a short opportunity working on here. They're definitely a short term. I just don't know how far down she's going to come. Maybe are you looking at a penny? Is that going to help? What is that, about 10%? So even, you know, doing a scalp short, not that big of a payday for it, unless she's going to come down here like to 5 cents. And that could be a nice little payday, but that might take some patience. That'd be about what, 35% gains. But you know, she could come down a little bit and then start coming up, and then you go in the drawdown, or maybe you have to add to your trade and hope that she doesn't say, well, screw you, I'm blasting off and going to the next level. So she could be tricky to short from here. That would have been nice to caught this one, just knowing that 236 area was an area that she could get rejected from. That would have been nice. Mooding. I would like to see her come back to about this 5-6 cent area. Let's take a look at, here's another one. I was making fun of this one the other day. And here it is, Peanut. Go figure. It was... I figured this one was dead. I figured you were dead. 12 cents and just doubled up. She got a 2x. Now, now Peanut is dead. The coin lives on. Goodness gracious. Peanut got as high as 250. I doubt that we ever see that again. Gotta say, I would feel fortunate to get back up here to this 67 cent area, and that would be cool. I'd be about a 2.5x, wouldn't it? Be two of my fibs in there. Am I touching? So 67, 68 cents, and right where all this noise is going on, right over there. So to me personally, I think these would make some excellent little targets. There's some other ways that we could have done that. Could just pull the fib, but I did pull the fib from there. I went with this one. I didn't feel the need to do that. The other 236s correspond with the other areas I'll be looking at over here too. It's just a little different technique to get these targets. 28 cents, 45, 67. All of these are major pivots for this guy on different takes. So should be headed up toward 28 cents. She might break out from that and go higher, or she might stumble through here a little bit more like she has in accumulation. This is an accumulation zone. Anywhere under 28 cents is the juicy buy spot, because when she gets to 67 cents, you'll be saying, dang, I wish I bought more when she's 28. They told me to buy there and I didn't. And, you know, you'll be Mr. or Mrs. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. But that's if you got conviction. You don't have to have conviction for it. I'm just reading the charts. I'm not in it. You don't have to be in it. She was just starting to do something for today, but it does look like we might be able to see those areas. And that's kind of decent, you know, 33. That's not bad at all, 33%. 68, 100% up to their first target at 45 cents. So that's the daily. So that's the idea. What does it actually look like if we were trying to get in? I got to go to the 4 hour and say, well, she still kind of took off without us there. Are you going to wait for a pullback? Sometimes you get a pullback, sometimes you don't get that pullback. You got to understand that. Take that risk if you're going to wait for a pullback. Understand it may not come, or it may come a long time from now. I would wait for a pullback. Personally, if I think that she's going to get rejected up here at 28 cents or whatnot, did I do you the wrong way? No, I didn't. Yeah, right there would be that nice little sweet spot. 618, 18 cents, 20 cents. And I'm thinking, well, if she does go up there to 28 and she comes back to 20 or 18 or 19, those would be some nice places to look at trying together. I don't think she might do it now. I don't know. But retest the breakout, that would be the best thing for that. In my personal opinion, especially with all the moving averages down here, suggest that can happen. So patience, I think, would be the play for this one. Let's take a look. Here's one. It's called Bitcoin. It's also called Harry. Is it Harry Potter? Yeah, Harry Potter, Osama. Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic Inu. And let's take a look at Mexi's got you. It's Harry on Mexi. Look at you. Boom, boom. I was going to look at this one the other night. It was on my list and I didn't get around to doing it. Was it when you were down here in the dumps or not? There's the daily. It would have been over it was probably around through here. Probably not too far from where it is. Well, let's get some analysis on Harry Potter, because it's at a pretty good area. It did a nice little double bottom there. Look at that. Where it touched over here in February, also touched nice. That kind of puts 37 cents back on the radar. I know it sounds crazy, maybe even higher. If you do zoom out, look, we've been on a trajectory of higher highs here. Could we go to 50 cents? From 7, and I'm getting interested now. Gosh darn it. She's at a low, same low she was at in September last year before she went up to 36 cents. That was, yeah. So here we are on the data. Now she's already popped up, and everybody's gonna be saying, "Man, you buying the tops, man." She was just at 5, man. She's at 5 cents, man. You're buying at 7.5, man. You're buying the tops. It may feel like the tops now. That's how you got to look at some of these things. That's where your Fibonacci hits, even from here. Now, let me do it the original way. Let's go ahead and get our areas here. We're going to use the 236 method. At 11 cents there. Where we are right now, bumping our heads at 8 cents. in the area that we just bounced off of at 5.2 cents. Let me get those guys in there. Those lines are too thick. Your lines, they'd be too thick, man. Thin those lines down. I'm gonna thin my lines down. I want some thin lines. Make them nice and thin. You ain't the boss of me. Don't tell me what to do. All right. So we're at an area where we could get rejected. I hope we do. If we do, we're going to buy some. But basically, anywhere. Let's make you bigger, man. Anywhere below 11 cents is a juicy buy spot for this one, according to Fib strategy. Because top of the channel, we got some nice little fib areas, 42 cents, 46 cents for that little moon boy target, and then we got the little shorter ones to go with. Always got our 618 with all this congestion over there. Looks like it'll be a great little place to get slapped down every once in a while. Beat you down. And right below this other area of congestion right there, also a nice little area to go test. Below the 200 moving average and all that good comically goodness. There's even an area in between, but I don't want to bore you with too many areas out there. 16 cents, 24 cents. Those look interesting. If you're a pattern trader, you would probably see some of these things. Look, we broke out to the upside of the spot and wedgie or channel or something like that. That was the wrong thing, man. Or maybe, you know, you're forcing a big ass falling wedge. Look, it's a big ass falling wedge. Oh, you got that too. And she looks like she's getting ready to break out of it, don't you? There is also, I know, wait a minute, I hear you, you said, but he don't see that. He don't see what I see. I see it. Who can forget the elusive, ever popular inverted head and shoulder, which actually did confirm. You tighten up my neckline there. And now there's a retest for this, so if you feel like you missed out, remember 6.8 cents wherever we broke out, 6.7 cents. We might come back there and talk to that little sucker. We often do with these guys, okay? That's the little alpha I like to give out with them, because I don't know, other people don't do that. That helps you not to chase if you know that. You thought, okay, all right, or you walk into this, you know, if you're not already in this, like, well, it doesn't do me any good. It's already broke out. No, man, you got a chance to come back down here, especially Lucy out there. So if you do come back and retest that, I'm not saying it's going to happen now. It may go up quite a bit and then come back down here, but they like to do it. I'm telling you. We could be seeing this area again here. Nice here on the 4. Oh man, I heard that sound. And I think I got another super chat that I didn't acknowledge. Let me get over to that. Let me finish with this and go check the fan fund. And sorry about that if I missed something earlier. We will get to it. Notice how the 4 hour, the moving averages are coming around. They're starting to flip. And this is a bottoming pattern. Even here at 7.6 cents is not bad for it. When I first found out about this coin, I think it was around 19 cents. And I think I might have bought in, and then I think it went down or something crazy like that. I don't know. That's been a couple years ago trying to play this one. Just a meme coin. I think the founder behind it's more light than the one that fought against BitBoy or whatever. But I don't know. Just I kind of. It's a meme coin that's still in an area that you might be able to find a polite time to get in at 6-7 cents, and then if she gets up to 15, you can pull your collateral out. If it gets up to 24, you back to where it stayed for the longest back in 2024. Last year it hung out right 24-25 cents for the longest. You'd be up 230%. So I find that one interesting. What do you look like on the small time frames? Are you ready to roll over yet? Because I'm finding myself reaching my phone for my phone saying, maybe I ought to get me some. And right now, I mean, it sounds like, yeah, it sounds good, but it looks like she might be rolling over here soon. Remember, we all headed into the weekend, and she's already lost one. Internal trend line right there, I think rejection. So she's starting to roll over. secondary trend line here starting to lose it. So I don't know that she'll get past 8 cents just yet. She might even go up and touch it again. Looks like she wants to do that right now, but slowly. Still between there and there, we put $100 in here, and then it comes down to 90 or 88. That would be the scenario if you jumped in right here. I think she'll be bound here again soon. Let's go check the fan funny, or something happened there. Reese John gave me $2 super chat. That's the one that came in earlier that I meant to go check on and I forgot. Thank you very much, Reese John. I appreciate it. I got redemption check, Fog Coin, Turkey Solana. And then Brave Expanse, welcome to the fan club, my man. Welcome to the fan club. So I'm thinking that we're looking for Fog Coin. And we'll go over here to Dex Greener. I don't have anything. And this is Fog Coin separate. Okay, there's a Fog Coin. Right below it is Tit Coin. That's interesting. Looks like it's up 144%. Is that, no, did I read that wrong? Maybe I read that wrong. So this is on Uniswap Ethereum. Let me go back to that. So if here's one on Solana. You said Solana. I got one down here, Fog on Solana. Now that's got a different price on it. I would probably feel better if I had a contract, to be honest with you, if you could send me a contract. If we're talking about, well, this one's not even, it can't be this one, I don't think. The only one I'm seeing for sure is, I guess Ethereum and on Uniswap there. If you can send me the contract address, I'll pump that in. We'll take a look at it. Let me come back to the chat over here. Thank you for the fan funding. I definitely appreciate the super chats and the help there. Oops, forgot to renew the sub. Uh-oh. Ding, your turkey is ready. Melis Williams, welcome to the stream. Good evening. Good evening. Uh-oh, I see Celinda. Is she here? There's Celinda. How's it going? ICP is so sad. I know. I remember looking at $15 and thinking I should sell. Damn it, lol. Yeah, coulda, woulda, shoulda. And yeah, there's always these disappointing projects in here. It happens every cycle. There's something that you like and it does well, and you hold it and anticipating that it's going to do better, and then it doesn't, and sometimes it never gets back there. And then there's things that you like and they do good, and then there's an exploit or something happens, or even worse, what happened to me with Maple Finance. I just found out about this. Those coins were running about $15, 17 up to 20. I think got up to 30 at one point. I think I bought a lot, somewhere between 10 and 12, $13, somewhere through there. And then I just now found out that at the end of April that you're supposed to switch them over for Seraph. We've been looking at these coins. I didn't know what was going on. I thought, well, that's a dirty trick. Now I'm outside of the bounds. Now I got worthless coins. And that whole bag is worth, well, it's still, my whole bag is now worth about $100. And I'm like, well, that sucks. It went from like, I don't know, $15 to $20 down to, what is it? It's even $1 right now. I don't know. But all these things happen. OM, whatever happened over there, it was at $6. Now it's at 38 cents. It's crazy, and it really makes you wonder. It's like, should I really hold these freaking altcoins? Because I'm really starting to think, next cycle I'm not going to hold altcoins like I did. So I'll get them in early. I'll hold them for a couple of years throughout the bull market. Yeah. I mean, there was ups and downs, but if I do, I think the idea that I'm just going to keep holding it till it keeps going up. It can go up from here. Like I felt that way with INJ when it was at $40, right? I mean, I took profits and everything, but I would have took a lot more if I knew she's going to come back down to where she's been and never go back up there. MOVR, Moon River, that was another one. She went on a really good tear earlier on. I did take some profits from that, but I did hold some, and it never, fizzled out. And I ended up selling it a lot cheaper just to. So, I mean, things don't ever always go the way that we hope and plan. And there's always something. And then there's always something happens with the project or happens with the platform. Or how many times I've been in some, spot margin play. It happened on KuCoin and Mexi didn't have it. And then they kick us off because of KYC. So sell everything. Some things selling for a loss. Got to get off the exchanges, or they delist a coin, and suddenly I got to cut a loss. There's all these little unexpected losses and things that happen in crypto too that just take us by surprise. And I'm looking back and I'm saying, man, I've had my share of those little suckers this cycle too. So I feel you. I got on a rant there. Striga says going to hold them all. VRA, Celinda says VRA tanked hard today. I'm looking at Vera Bradley on wrong Vera. VRA. Veracity. Oh, I saw that earlier. Yeah. I was like, and that's great because that was a strong trend, right? And I don't know what the news is behind it, but some people look in, can I get in now? And I would probably be tempted. You'd probably be hoping for a V-shaped recovery. But I would say, well, I can say a couple of things about it. Are we on the 4 hour? Anytime you get one of these and you lose it, I would just consider that over and walk away for a while. The inclination is when we get a parabolic move is to, we'll buy it when it gets cheaper. And what I found, and with me, is that I found myself, until I made this rule and really took this to heart about these parabolas. I would find myself getting in too early when they pump. So maybe they lose the parabola, maybe they even come down a little bit or something, and they'll do something around through here, and I'm thinking, oh, it looks like a good time to get in. Maybe I buy in, and then what happens? Because this was all the excitement phase. This is when everybody wanted it and all that, and people sold off. It has to go through reaccumulation, and if you're lucky, maybe it'll be a slow one. Maybe it'll just dwindle. But they do. They'll dwindle down, usually down to 786, 886 retracements. I mean, deep. They go deep. So you get in, and then oh man, it just slow burns. I thought I got in good. Well, I keep adding. And then you go through accumulation again. And then you got to wait, and then maybe you'll get something like that again. It's best just to when they do that, just to, cut it and then be preaching to the choir here. And then when she starts showing signs of doing something else, come back in. But I would have that problem. I would say, oh, I can get a good deal on it. It's a good deal for a little while until it wasn't. And then I'm holding a bag. It's like, oh crap. But this one, she lost it kind of quick, and they might be saying, "I'll get in V-shaped recovery." Maybe, and then maybe it just, feels like an OM, just wants to stay down here. That looks a lot like OEM, to be honest with you. Looks just like what OEM did. So was there bad news for Veracity or something, or was it just Parabola's over? Some on the 24-minute. Let's take a look at Brett. Popular meme coin on Coinbase over there. Let's look at the futures over here. Oh, I'm on a small time frame. Let me go to a 4 hour. There we go. Look at you, Brett. This is perfect. Oh, we need more information. Let's go to a bigger chart. Mexi. Oh, we already got our points on here. Cool. So, Brett, the biggest thing I'm looking at, we lost this main trend line. So that's going to be resistance at some point. That's a while away. Moving averages are, what are we on, 4 hour? 4 hours is a good one, especially if you're using the bigger moving average like I use 800, 600, 360. If you do that too, 4 hours is a good one to watch for that. I think it'll a good guide. They're still bearish, but they're starting to flip, right? So we're in the times of flips. So my question is, now that we got a round shape here, are we going to do the butt crack and then come back for another round thing, or are we going to start breaking out and doing higher highs? So are we through accumulating or not? Suggests that we might not be. I don't know. This is a great place for those harmonic patterns to happen. These butt cracks are usually harmonic patterns, so I'm starting to look for some of those little signs of those guys now. So let's pay attention and see what this one does, Brett. That's cool that she's there at 7.5. She hit her target, right? We do have another. You know what? I get too many. Oh, one of them was on the same line. Let me just pull my fibs again and reorient. Okay, you're a color koji. That would have helped me out to start with. So 10.7 cents, 10.5 cents, that area. If we can clear this area, we might see that out of Brett. Let's get rid of this guy she broke out of. She's already met her measure move from that, so. That looks pretty good. If we got a solid trend line, then let's check that idea out. That's pretty good. Trying to figure out if it actually touched it or not. I guess if I go to the bodies, you would have touched it. Anyway, starting to get a little picky. Go to the bodies, it does touch it. It's starting to lean away. The candle bodies, there's actually a divergence, or I call it a divergence. Oh, yeah, there is a divergence from the trend line, and that's a nice rounding shape. Maybe. Hopefully no butt crack, hopefully parabolic move, hopefully something along these lines. That would be good. So I want to put that there for the idea. And that could help us get to 10 cents kind of quick. That would be cool. Let me look for a AB equals CD, see if we got something like that going on. I think that's a 0.5. Well, that could get interesting. I'm going to pull out a different tool over here. He said tool. Well, for Mr. 0.5, I want to pay attention to this one. Oh, and this one. What was that? Oh, you're my bigger one. Okay, gotcha.
Crypto skies are filled with dreams. Sammy's lost in all the schemes. Fails to grasp the rules they set. Chasing glory, that's the bet. They call me Sammy Cup and Handy.
Gets us up around there too. Okay. You're at that area. I got way too many lines here. Let's take that one up there. All right, so she's at an area where she could definitely get a pullback and get rejected here for several different reasons. I could see her coming back, probably to retest these areas over here. I don't know if she's got her top in now. We'll just pretend that she does, and we'll go with this guy right here. So about 6.3 cents, just a little over 6 cents if we pull back. That would be a nice little place to maybe put an entry in or add to a position. Shorter term target, looking for about 9 cents, 10.5 cents. And then again, right up here around 13. Little hopeful targets a ways away, but we can make it up there over time. Interesting. Okay. Still not the real good juicy prices for it that I'd be hoping for. Strega says he's going to hold them all. Strega said rip went to $1. Linda says I'm selling everything before the end of the year. So as you said, you thought a whale dumped on that one. That's kind of the same thing that happened with OM. It looked exactly the same. That's crazy. OM, that one's still getting attention, but she ain't doing nothing. She just gradually, she got wicked and then got candlesticked and went just a little bit lower. And hoping, I mean, that's all we can do is hope that this would be the actual bottom and maybe she'll start doing something. But it's just been a, every little up and then sideways and down, and a little up and sideways and down, up and sideways and down and down. I've still got a little play over there. I've been kind of shorting that spot margin. This all I was doing is just giving me more and more tokens and that aren't worth anything. So now we got to fight to get above 50 cents on OEM, but it looked very similar to what we saw. What was that? Veracity. Very much similar. Just the big team or whoever sold. I forgot what they said happened there. It's a bunch of crap. This one was hot a little while ago. I never played it, but a lot of people did. It's Alpaca Finance. Are you still kind of hot? She got up to, what was this? Spiked up to $1.26. She's at 26 nat cents now. Just trying to take a look at this one. Zoom out a little bit. Those moving averages are all together there. What are they saying? They're working on it. Working on doing a cross. Just not there yet. 4 hour. What? Ooh. 4 hours getting some crosses. They're not on the big ones, but on the smaller ones. But they're getting together. They're starting to squeeze in together. They're starting to show the signs that they want to flip. It's a 4 hour alpaca. Would I do this one? Because she just started doing this in April. Before April, she was just kind of nobody wanted to talk to her forever, and for good reason, because she didn't do anything. Now all of a sudden she's the bee's knees, or was for a little while. This one popped off last cycle too, pretty good. So you're still below that though. You're below this. I guess that's what we got to go with. You got me a wick down here, so I don't feel stupid about it. One I might keep my eye on. She's close to a trend line. I might think about it. A penny away from 26 cents. I don't know. Still, I'm just trying to find things that were hot and try to look at them. And it's got a nice little scallop shape. Might be making some form of double bottom. Maybe going to accumulate. Like I don't know that I want to play this one anytime too soon. Keep my eye on it though. Another one that's down right now that was hot is Kato. So take a look at it and see if there might be any kind of setups there. Oh, you're not down much at all. You just in a, yeah, okay. So she's already testing one area. Looking for maybe 125. Look like you can come down here to me. I think I was trying to short this little guy. I wasn't a short actually on it. I guess we'll see what our tiny account is doing over here. I need to check it. I haven't checked it. I've got MeanFi. Dang, that was a tiny one. Yeah, I picked the wrong choice on that one. Bitcoin short is sucking. All the rest of them are doing pretty decent, but I do have a couple of trades I should let go earlier. Bitcoin short, I don't know if I did something and it moved the stop or stopped the stop loss, but I didn't set it, but it got me. But I've got closed on my shorts. I was shorting a lot of these guys, and Now we got some little longs going on over here. Tiny account. Some of them are up 45%, 30%. These are all like 5x. Nothing crazy. A 6x on Fartcoin. That one finally got going in the right direction there and taking some profits. So we got some little trades over there, but I am down from making a few little mistakes there. Unless Bitcoin wants to dump. If you dump for me, Bitcoin, that would be helpful. Just saying. What was the reason? Cato. We're not in Cato anymore, are we? Cato looked like she want to come down a little bit, though. I might have to look into that. She either going to distribute up here and hang around in town, or is she going to come down for a I think she got a good chance of being coming down. Interesting. Okay, Kato. Let me come back to the chat, see what you guys have got. And here's where I put the coin request out. Let me see what we got. MG Motorsport says ICP. Let me just write them down here. We were talking about that earlier. I got to talking about something else. I meant to look at it earlier. Actually, it's been going up a little bit, but she's still underperforming. Kelly says, I love Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10, Inu, ticker Bitcoin. Still held my Harry Obama, says Ame. It is down a lot right now. I'm seriously thinking about adding to my little bag once I find out where I got it. Gotta be a whale. We need that song in the background, Roto. You know about doing a new song about whales? Or one I've already got. Ruben Bravendor. Can we get analysis on Tau Ave? We can get on some of them. I don't know if I can get them all, but you write some of them down here. Ave's good. I like Ave. I've never looked at Pseudo. Or I've never played it, I don't think. MG Motorsports. That's I'll look at that. I'll make sure that's the next one. I don't know if you're still here, MG, but I'll look at that one next. They just discussed ICP, no charting. It's like at 550. I think that was about right. Slinda says OM was around 3 cents and 23 to 3. I know she went up really good. She was one of my good plays. I'm glad that I was feeling bad because I was peeling out profit and putting in other coins when they needed a little boost or something like that, when it was my spot margin and everything. And I was really wanting to grow a huge bag of OM, but now I don't feel bad about it at all. I'm like, yeah, glad I milked that little sucker, because if I hadn't milked it, it would have milked me. Well, it did milk me, but at least it kind of, we're kind of even for the most part. But it was one of my best performing bags. My portfolio took a hit with that one. Well, then I saw that my Maple Finance one took a hit too. I'm like, great. There's always going to be those that pop up. I want to do something different next time. I don't think I want to be holding coins as long as I've held them this time. And I'll definitely be, and I'm glad that I did. One change that I made from last cycle to this cycle is, the previous cycle I focused mostly on altcoins. I'm like, well, that sucked. That's not going to work. Bitcoin was the biggest performer there, and you could see that last cycle. You definitely see it this cycle. So this cycle I went heavier on Bitcoin, and I'm glad that I did. My mistake that I made this cycle was that I used it for leverage with spot margin against some of these altcoins. And if you hadn't noticed, Bitcoin's outperformed altcoins, therefore it did the opposite of what I needed it to do. So it cost me some of my Bitcoin to play that trick. So I learned that. Next cycle, Bitcoin, altcoins, we see. And I don't know why it didn't dawn on me that we would just oscillate as much with altcoins. I guess in the back of our mind, we're still hoping that they'll gain in value, but they haven't. They just oscillated. So you could come in 3 different times and caught the bottom on altcoins and rode them up. But if you came in with the, the old school mentality, of will get in cheap and hold them through the cycle. You just been riding a roller coaster, and I've done that on several bags because I don't have everything on exchange. Some are packed up on wallets, so they rode the roller coaster. And no need to do that next time. Focus on Bitcoin, altcoins here or there, and then not do as damn many. Yeah, as a habit I picked up from the trading group. Haven Pick says, "Wishy watchy like the laundry. I just bought 5,000 more BMTs and 80,000 Crow to stake in the supercharger." I like Crow. Real Estate Machine says, "Pro, please." Is that Proppy? MG Motor says, "Oh, good. Okay, so you're here. All right, let's go check out ICP." Because I've been saying I'm going to be doing it for the last, at least 30 minutes, probably. ICP is at 526. I'm on a 15-minute. Let's zoom out. Let's go to the daily. And she's still so cheap. Look down here on the daily. Last call for cowbell area right over here. I remember writing that, but I don't remember what the thing was. We're looking at trend line. Oh, yay. Was I saying, oh, yeah, this will be where it bounced? I probably was thinking that we were going to bounce there. There's a 786 retracement, 886 bottom on a trend line. Yep, I probably was. I got an arrow pointing up here for possible target, and then we died. And that wasn't even on Liberation Day. That was well before. So I'm not looked at this chart since I guess I did all this. Well, that sucked, and that was very important. Losing that trend line was not good, and that's what we would not hope to have happened at all. But it did. Well, that's my bad. And again, we're going to draw that trend line there because that's going to be a resistance area now for ICE. That sucks. I'm making a rule where I'm kind of got this in mind. I see a lot of coins that have done this. They've had a major trend line that they were on for most of the run, and then they lost it. I'm looking at these guys. I'm not expecting much out of them because I know that they got that trend line to deal with the few months that we got left in this bull market. So the setups that are any coins I see are in that setup, I'm kind of just throwing them on. I'm putting them on my B list. And I hate to say that, I like ICP. And I mean, yeah, there's the chance that we can get up and get past it and all this other stuff. But how much? When? Are we finally going to get past it and get over in October, November, December, and well, maybe we come back up here? That's a far cry from what we would have hoped, right? I mean, she was $87 in November. She's been a whole lot higher. We would expected to, get to 54 or 69. I would have. Something better than this. But last year, she was under $22. Right beneath the 22 target area that we need to get to. So, let me draw that line. Alt H. There we go. So right now, I'd be happy just to make it up to $22. I could, we could see the shape. They could be making a double bottom, and then it should get up here and come along and go along its way. But we're running out of time here. Since July 22nd, we started in April 22nd, April of 2022, 3 years ago. So for the last 3 years, we've been just hanging around through here. Went from $3 and got lucky, got to 20 there. It's hard to imagine a scenario where this one would go and do all the great things that it could do. And then I'm thinking, well, where's all the news for ICP? If they got such great technology and doing all these things, how come I don't hear about it anymore? So it's been a disappointment, along with many, many other ones. But what it can do short term, and that's from December high to now, what we can expect, and I would say over the next few weeks and months, would be right within this range here. So I wouldn't expect any more than $22 over the next little bit. I mean, how long can it take for, like, we got this high to low. How long does it take for us to go one high to low to another high to low? And do we have that much time left in this market? So is this one going to be the performer for the bull market? I mean, that's a legitimate question right now. I'd love for it to just do something outstanding, and maybe it will, but it's looking slim compared to some of these other ones, isn't it? From that high to this low, that was 3 months, over 3 months, 100 days. Just to get back to our other high was 260 days. Yeah, that's a while. And to get to that one, well, that's 400 days, so over a year for this action. And we're going to expect in the next few months for this one to 20x on us. That's hard to see. It's hard to see. And that makes me sad because I like this one, and I was hoping this was going to be one that would do it. And so now I'm just left wondering. But I'm going to keep that trend line there because you're going to have to fight with it. You're going to fight and get above it and then go to something hella bullish, or it's just going to be a slow, boring, I don't know. Stay range bound under the 236. That sucks so far. Empty Mo says, okay, that's enough RCP for today. I mean, I got a bag of it. I've been working with it and trying to build it up and everything, but I'm just like, let's take a look at one that has been doing fairly decent. This is Aave. She's still at good prices. She was up to almost $400 back in December. Her lows were around 50 through there, and I was like, instantly saw that and thought, oh my god, Aave, of course, because this is where she was up $500 last cycle. So when she's down to $50, I'm like, oh yeah, because I remember Aave when it was $4. So I'm like, man, why did I sell it? It used to be called Lind back in the day. She did a nice little rounded bottom, and this is what I look for the rounded bottoms. I look for a wedge shape, and then I look for another reverse wedge shape that opens up. And usually that's a good thing, but I've done this before and then come back and seen where they dump down, so it's not the end all be all. But nice rounded bottoms usually work out nice. I forgot which coin it was, but I was tracking the same exact thing, and price went, and then went did one of these little numbers, and I'm like, well, that makes me look stupid, but I would still do it again on everything. Every time I see that, I'm still going to play the same things because most of the time it works out really good. Look at you, man. Aave is at $200 now. I used to have a much bigger bag of this. Now I'm just trying to grow that bag. When we're in a trend like this, when we're in an upward trend with spot margin, I can grow a bag. And I've done that with virtual recently. But we're in a downtrend. Oh, the bags shrink, and that's not good. And I don't need that to happen anymore. So now I'm in the process of trying to rebuild, and this is what I'm focusing on, trying to rebuild is Aave. So 223 should be where we're headed there, and we might get past it, maybe. It's still got some things to work out with some of these smaller moving averages. Every one of these fib areas, I mean, seriously, you just can't beat it, especially looking to the left over here. 339 looks really juicy to me. 291, that'll be an area, but I'm starting to look at the bigger paydays over here. 338, I like that. So next target that I would see us coming up to the test and might get rejected, and we can probably go a little bit above it. 224, 230, that area is right through there. Starting to look good, looking good. 200 moving average is right there too. That's on the daily. Let's come down to the 4 hour. As we start getting into weekend, we can start seeing that. So now we're approaching the 600 and 800. And I would expect rejection from those. That's the same areas we were looking at earlier, 224. And it can get a little higher. We'll have to see. We'll probably retest these areas, 277. If it does get above them, we can start seeing them starting to flip around over here. That's good. Bigger ones haven't flipped yet, but the smaller ones have. So we can definitely see some come up on this one. That's nice. So she's broken out of what might be considered a rising wedge, and that's hella bullish. Hella bullish, so wouldn't be surprised to hit 224 for a nice strong move. Let me get my angles right here. See if we can find our channel ideas or angles. Ooh, there we go. I'm gonna move it up over here. That opens the possibility for this area over here. That might be interesting. Ave, I likes it. 1 hour is still going strong. She's on a nice trajectory right now, so as long as she keeps the current trend line, she's good, right? That's how I like to play it. When we lose the trend line, that's time to make sure you got paid something, right? Let's take a look at Tao, T-A-O. Ooh, nice, nice, nice. You have $400. Look at you, Tao. Oh my gosh. Tell me it's not so. Look at this. Looky here. I put the little arrow up here at this little guy, saying that's the one that I think that it would have that I'd be looking for it to go to. Because we were looking at these areas from back in the day, right? Nailed it! I'm going to move this out of the way because it's taken away from my glory. I'm going to get these nasty fibs out of the way, so that we can see the beautiful line with the beautiful arrow. Well, we were looking at this internal trend line, saying she come up probably double top, see what she does, and I still stuck with that. I don't know how it's going to get there. That was bearish to me. I was feeling she was feeling kind of bearish, and I was looking for a possible retest back here if trend line break, but I did stick with Mr. Arrow right there on that one. Well, that's the easy road, Doc. That just happened to be where we are right now. Tomorrow she might be all the way up here. Shut up. Right now it looks really good, so shut up. It's for the algorithm. Shut up. Love you guys. I don't know. Maybe she'll continue, or maybe she'll pull back. I guess maybe I should wait till she gets rejected there before I say nailed it. But I'm not going to, because I'm feeling kind of vain tonight. So we're going to do it. It's fun. It's for the algorithm. It's for our vanity wall. It must be done. So we're going to take our little nailed it, put it over here, you know, make sure that we go, woo, baby. We need to take this price label because she's too small, and we need to, oh, I should have done that over there. Kind of make her nice and big. And oh, that's not big enough at all. And then we got to put a turkey picture over here like this. And I need the little hands that point up, like, I should do that. All right, and nailed it. Got to do the squeaky teenage nailed it voice. And there we go. Algorithm all set to go. Ready for them subscribers, YouTube. Maybe we should post it on Twitter. Oh, that's an idea. I haven't done that. Okay, well, we post it on the vanity wall, and we'll post it on Twitter just to stir up some crap. Buy a turkey leg with the $2. What is that? Is that a... Is that a payment on Telegram? Can you do that? It looks like it might be. I don't know. I think it might. Uh-oh. I don't know what happened there. Where'd my vanity wall go? I lost my vanity wall. I'm not looking for you, dude. That's interesting. I can't see what that is. Let's post it over here. This was BitTensor Tao. Nailed it. All right. I'm sorry, but we got to. I haven't done this on X. I want to try it on X.
Why are you white? I was born that way. You got a problem with it? Oh man, come on, dude. I'm looking for the dark screen. Why's it gotta be dark? This is more settings and oh man, are you gonna get into all the crap stuff? I don't need to put all. I just want you dark. Okay, well, screw you. Maybe if I go to here, it'll be still white. I'm going to go ahead and put, I'm not doing it, you dude. Bit tensor. And paste it. Now the target. Woo! All right, that's all the fun we need over there. 29 people are still hanging out. That's pretty impressive. All right, so Tao, we're okay. This is what we got. Let's clear all this stuff out so we can take a fresh look. Zooming out, reorient ourselves. You got one of them too. I just said I was going to put these guys on the back burner and look at them sideways. This one broke back into it. Bullish! That's a bear trap. Ooh, snap! Oh, took this trade with me. Oh no, I'm sorry, wrong show. I like that. I like when this happens. Me likey. It broke. If we can see the other one do that, I mean, this is kind of. Honestly, I would expect it to roll over. I'm daddy very happy, daddy very pleased, daddy very happy. That's good. That's bullish. Bullish. This looks like a bump and run. The bump and run pattern, I think, is really more like here. It looks like our channel. They kind of look like a lot, don't they? Same things, aren't they? Really, if you think about it. You can make it simple, make it complicated. We'll make it both. I don't care. We'll make it hard and easy. It could be as easy as channel, or we got to get out here and measure every little tiny little flag. Yeah. 500. What? 578 is your measure move from that? Oh, that's big numbers. Look how big those numbers are. My, how big your numbers are. You have big numbers, Grandma. Grandma, how'd your body count get so big? Where does that come from? All right. You're liable to hear anything come out of my mouth here. Well, I'm trying to draw a little horizontal line there, and it didn't want to cooperate. I don't want to forget about the old 618. I don't want to forget about this measure move either. The measured move takes us to a very possible location up at $578. Meanwhile, we're also looking for a 618 Fibonacci area to be tickled. And where are you even going with the 78? I know you're just throwing everything in the kitchen sink. And I would be like, yeah, I probably am, because if she's doing this bear trap, I would expect a strong move. This makes me almost want to feel some FOMO for Tao. Before I do, I want to come down to the 4 hour. I want to get the nitty gritty. What's going on, Tao? Who's your new dealer? And what are they giving you? Has that been adulterated? 1 hump, 2 hump, a 3 hump, a dump dump? 522 could be a coming there. However, we got to talk about this one, Ronnie. She's already in here and she could get rejected here. If she's not going to go and make a higher high from here, then we're looking at squeezing out maybe to 459. Now that sounds a little bit more reasonable for what we're doing right now. 3 hump and a dump scenario. So I would look for this area first. I'm just saying for Tao. We might be coming up. We got our 1 hump, 2 hump, 3 hump, a dump dump. And Elliot says, no, fuck. Oh, did we say that out loud? Screw you, road dog. I want to take you all the way to 487, then dump on you. She's got a 5th wave of coming, according to Elliot. I'm like, okay, Elliot. I think you got another wave of coming too. I just see it a little different than you do.
So me and Ellie got to square off here. Let's get rid of all the noise here. Oh. So BitTensor, I like the moving averages are starting to turn around on the 4 hour, starting to. Small ones are, bigger ones got some more work to do, and that can hold us down here a little bit. So if we do come up, we could probably see some retests and maybe jink around through here a little bit. She likes to jink around. That's our new word for the day, jink around. It's what BitTensor did. But the fact that she got back into this makes me think there could still be a nice strong move coming though. And even if she has to pull back, and then maybe we see a stronger move after that. But this is a big deal to me. That's a big deal in my strategy when we do a bull trap or bear trap, especially one that big. So let's copy this guy. Let's post him over to our trade setups because that's kind of a big deal. Tau. It's got a big ass bear trap, and you know that's something else I need to do here. Can we do it real quick? And only if we do it quickly. All right, give me just a second here. Yeah, I need to do this. Put the big old bear trap right here. And now we can take that picture. Put it over here. Did we get it? Did you not? You're not doing it? Copy image, come over here and then paste. Oh, screw you. You're there now. All right, T80 4 hour confirmed. Bear trap targets. I expect a strong move. All right, so we posted you over there. We got a nice little bear trap idea and little targets for Tau. I think Tau is looking pretty good. Let's take a look at render. Got 32 people hanging out. Bless you all. I don't know if you've heard the rumor, but there is one, and that is there's a special guest appearance here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. For you, those of you that have not met Elvis, Bitcoin Elvis.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Elvis. Let's take a look at render. Look at you up there. You went up and retested it again. My goodness. You came back to what, 410, retested this area, blah, 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 W pattern, retest, that's acceptable. That's pretty cool. Let's zoom out so you can see it a little bit better. We were looking at several different ideas where you're looking at this trend line and whatever you want to see that as a pattern, broad end wedge, or even there's several different ways you could look at it. All of them being correct. So you got 2 touches on one side, 3 on the others, you have a valid pattern, even if it's different from your neighbors. You're both right. We're all winners here. Yay. So lost this trend line, and that's always a time to say, hey man, I need to regroup. Do I need to get paid, do something, take some profit? It's always a good idea because a lot of times they'll drop, or maybe they do what we did here. Normally I would expect her to get rejected here. Come back and retest. I might have pulled that off. Let's get rid of these guys down here. Resistance on the 800 daily, but here's what I like. The bigger ass moving averages, 300, 600, even 300, 300, 600, and 800. They're all in good order. We could come up pretty quickly, I think, recover all this. Sounds crazy, but yeah, I think so. So I need to see a new trend line, and I don't know if we got it. I'm going to assume that maybe this is it. That's a pretty decent angle. We'll see. She could lose it. I like to figure out our channel. I don't know if we're low enough to do that just yet. Well, maybe. You got something going on here. So yeah, I'll stick with that. let's look at 585 over here, our next little target area. And in the meantime, I'm going to come back over here and we're going to fib out our big boy targets. Going from where we were in, I think that was December, right? December 4th, topped out there at 11, almost $12. So that $6 area looks like it might be tested. The real sweet spot, I think, that's going to be worth waiting for, though, that we could recover, I think, might have a good chance of getting to kind of quickly, is about 726. So this is the 236 area that we're trying right now. Let me color code that one. Meaning that anywhere below 475 was the sweet spot to buy this, and if you did, hey, you got a nice bag of render, or added to your bag of render at a juicy price, because now if she gets past that 236 fib area here, this red line, she's ready to start booking to these, start stair-stepping her way up here, meaning that we will leave this area not to see it again for maybe a very long time, hopefully. Last call for alcohol. However, there's a warning that, oh man, you're one of them. Now I gotta look at you sideways. So, depending on how we approach this trend line, it would have originally been like this. It does tell us that these areas are gonna be, that might be tricky unless she does what coin was it we were looking at? Tau? Was it Tau? Unless she wants to do a bear trap. Tau proved that it can happen. And not to give up on those coins, so maybe render can fall into that same category or fall in the same shoes. The moving averages suggest that it could. I would love to see that. I do have a bag of render. Oh, what'd Haven say? That banana ain't safe if Bitcoin Elvis finds the peanut butter. That's funny. That is very true. Well, guys, we've been going for about 2 hours, 35 people. Thank you for hanging out. If you haven't, if you don't mind, I'll bring you
those
out
that have
again.
been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
It's Elvis. I'm really Elvis. It's Elvis. Kinda. Sorta. Doodly-doop, doodly-doop, doodly-doop. Make believe. Doodly-doop, doodly-doop. Let's make believe. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me. We went over several different coins. We went over a lot of some meme coins and requested. ICP, Tau, Aave, Render. I didn't do... let me knock out Proppy. We did Proppy. Or need to do Proppy. Over here real quick. Ooh. Well, now I had an hour over here, but that did not happen. So, was that... When was this? Well, this was here, so I'm guessing we were here. And I was thinking we had a bottom area there. Probably having something to do with this trend line here. They got me on the trend line. Same situation, kind of we're looking at with Tau, to be honest with you. Let me get all this old stuff that didn't pan out. That would have been the original trend line broken out and hoping to hit respect. So it's kind of the same thing. So is it going to be, is either going to be resistance force for Proppy, or it's going to do what Tau did and break back in? I don't. All of them aren't going to break back in. That's the sad thing. And I've got Proppy too, and I was looking at their down like, man, I'm kind of disappointed. I'm like, I'm gonna have to find a place to sell you, because it did good. It got up to 393, right? Let's figure out a good target just based on the fibs. $1.28. I think that one's going to be the main one to look at, and that's right up here at that trend line. By the time it gets up there to test this area, it's going to be right under that rejection. And that's not bad from where we are. It's like a 2x from where we are, but I don't know about getting up to these other areas. $1.80. She'd have to get back into that, and if she got back into it, I'd say screw $1.80. I'd be looking at 263. Because if we do break back above a trend line, like I said, I expect a strong move. Moving averages on the daily, the bigger ones are okay. It's just still got some work. I look at the $1.28, $1.30 for that area, and then we'll kind of figure out what she's going to do from there. And I hear some stuff going on. There's lots of sounds going. There's some memberships going on. Oh, it's membership time. Wiener spot waiting on a man for what? For some after? What? Huh? Hold on, don't leave. Good Brown Gravy. Hey, Good Brown Gravy, how's it going? Good Brown Gravy sent 5 Road Dog memberships. Let's see who all got one. Al Jr., Celinda Anderson, The Dusty Hunt, Baba Yaz, D. Oz. Awesome. So,
For those of you thank you very much.
and we got buttons going everywhere, don't we? Ooh, now we got the smoke. So, that was supposed to hand clappies. Good Brown Gravy. How's it going? Thank you so much for that. And for all of you that got the gift membership. So there's the videos over there. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but let's see if we can find it. It's easier if I just go to live. I got playlists. They're over here. Members only. Okay. And you're not telling me a damn thing. Oh man, that's just for the details. I don't even know how to work YouTube. How sad is that? There's supposed to be 40 videos over there. Oh, here we go. There we are. All right, so over in the membership area, the $3 a month thing, here on YouTube, I've been on Thursdays. I regularly go over there and I have the Chart School Live series, and I've got 13 of those things so far. And we did one today, understanding using divergences. Last time we did Market Cipher. We went over volume triggers and how to enter trades and the trade signals and understanding that. Fibonacci, that was a good one. I did put this over here into the higher tier. There was one that's like $28 that I was eventually going to move some stuff up to. That's not the main reason I'm here on YouTube, but some people joined it anyway, so I'm adding value. That's how we got started with the $3 thing. Some memberships were given. I'm like, well, I have no membership thing. Let's put some videos over there. So that's how this got started. And for your support, I decided to put Chart School over there. So it's basically like a little course, but it's where we're streaming and asking questions and interaction. I think it's a good way to, if you're trying to learn how to do the stuff, and especially to do stuff the way that I do it, or, maybe there's something that I do you'd like to add to your toolbox, and I try to explain what I'm doing over here at Chart School. There's also other videos over there, the secret sauce, which is, there's several videos going way back. Even back to when I was doing spot margin strategies and things like that, talking about GANs. And so that's the membership areas, but you guys have access to that now, and that's kind of cool. So thank you again very, very much. I appreciate that. Good Brown Gravy says, look at Nero ETH for me. Nero ETH. And let's take a look at, how about Mexi? Oh, nice. Get you on the daily. Look, flag to the upside, Helen. Let's get you some targets there. You had a nice one right now. I'm going to get some standard fib targets here for a nice reversal, just based off of that. Then I'm going to get one specific for this one. That's a 382 pullback. Well, I mean, even here, but not for me. Let me go ahead and do that. I'll show you a new way to look at flags, because I know it's very popular. And the sad thing, I mean, here's why. There's somebody on there around, and everything is a flag, right? Everything is a flag. And to me, I think that's kind of, when they're forcing patterns, and two, it kind of creates a bias for some people, like, oh, holding off another flag, and then if you start taking that attitude, oh, look, he's going to draw another flag, then you get your own bias, like, Well, now I got a bias against flags. And now when I see one, I can't take them serious. Just like a cup and handle. Now if I see a cup and handle, I can't take it serious because somebody else was blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so normally, you know, they'd take a flag to the upside and you would get, you know, a target. And if you're lucky, they won't take that target and move it to some other crazy area like, look, it's going to here. That's a pet peeve of mine. But that you can do that, but they don't always meet their measure move. That's the tricky thing. Let me show you a different way to approach the flags with the Fibonacci. It's called an AB equals CD move. Swing low to swing high, 382 retracement. Very important for this strategy. For a good flag, we want to see that. We mark that little guy, 382. Remember that. Now I'm going to show you a different way to look at these measured moves. And not so much for the pattern breakout, whether it's a flag or a pennant, because there's two different ways to do them, right? Two different schools of thoughts for how to do them. But just take it from the Fibonacci. This is a one-to-one move. That's what it is. This is A to B, and this is the start of C to D. Where's D going to end up? Right here. And it's actually the 618. Now, if there's a difference on it, I think it's because I fat-fingered my little thing. But when she squares up there, it's this 618. So I don't have to actually take the measure move. I can actually just go by that 618 area right there. But there would be your target. And notice that even if you took an accurate measure move, you know, you say that I'm going to put my target over here at 12 cents, when it really, you know, goes right here. So this guy, this is a little bit more of an accurate target right there. Just sharing a little something. So now we can, now that I did that, now let's make a, I need to make a note so I remember. Okay. Test it. AB equal CD measure moves versus flag measure move. That way, I need to start leaving more notes over here. So, okay, now we'll put them to the test and we'll see how that happens. Now, the AB equals CD move that I gave you right there is actually a bearish move, and that means that's an area where it should get reversed. And I'm going to put that as orange too, and I'm going to put that price as blue for measure move. So this is the standard measure move. Let me go ahead and put that. And this is our AB equals CD. Or I'll just put CD. All right. So, to me, from where we are now, you can go up another 37% before she gets to an area that she needs to chill out and come back and pull back. Once she gets up there, then, you know, we're kind of guesstimating now, but let's just assume that it does. We don't know for sure, but let's just assume that it does. Then it would probably pull back to around 7 cent area. It most likely is 7 cent, maybe 8.1 cent. And we'll take all this in consideration too, and just look for a few other targets. Maybe get some confluence over here too on some of these targets we got. She's testing her 382, right? I want to make note of that. And I'll just throw out some other 20 cents. Looks interesting. Take her a while to get there. All right, so for Nero E, let me come down to smart time. That was all in the daily. Let's come down to the 4 hour and see what we got. 4 hour just got a green. They're playing red dot, green dot over here, so that looks interesting. Money flow's going in, so it looks like this still a strong move. Still a strong move. So yeah, I can see 11 cents happening. Let's and that's curving. That's parabolic, right? Yeah, there it is, the curve. And wherever you're drawing your trend line, she's starting to deviate from them. So yeah, it looks like the little strong move should continue there. Here on the 1 hour, she just got the red dot over there, and she might be coming back down to retest the trend line area or something like that. I believe that 12-cent area. I believe my target will get hit. We'll see if the 13 will. Pretty cool. Kelly says SWE is dumping. Is it? Oh, nice! Look at you go on the 1 hour. Where are you down to? 384. It was time. She's at the top of her trend line, and then she just got up above a 618 area and lost it. So that was what was this? A measure move from what? Oh, from channel, sideways channel. Until we knocked that out and went over. It did have a little hiccup there. A little red candle at that area too. Let's clear this out. There was the sweet ass buy zone right here. Okay. I don't know if we ever did we go in the sweet ass. I don't know. Let's zoom out on SWE. SWE. It looks like most of our targets are hit. And look at her different. Nice little AB equals CD, possible flag pattern going on right there. Is she going up or is she going to pull the back? We can chase the flags or do the AB equals CD, or we could just zoom the freak out. I like to zoom out. And if we're going to go to a juicy area, we should be going to 458. It's the easiest way. With a bonus target right up here, 495. In case she gets a little ornery. So now that we went over the AB equals CD concept without pulling out a fib, do quick on the fly stuff right here. Takes us also right there. Boom! Come on, baby, let's do it. Where are you, price tag? So I'm looking for 496 out of almost $5 actually. It might take her a while to get there. That says it's impossible. Let's pick out a few other things. Look, Helen, she's in a flag to the upside. Nice bounce off the daily 200 moving average. Duck lips on the 9 moving average above the 9. That looks sweet. So it looks like she's pulling back right now in smaller time frames, I guess. Let's go back to the 1 hour. And that's cool. That's fine. She is probably, it looks like she might have went to a 113. Oh, 127? Okay. That's cool too. Nice ribbon flip here. What are we on, the 2 hour? 2 hours got a ribbon flip. What's the 4 hour look like? Still working on it on that. 2 hours is a cool time frame to look at too. It looks pretty sweet on the moving averages here. I'd watch the 2 hour. I think you can get clearer signals from what I can see here. 1 hump, 2 hump, 3 hump, dump, dump. We still got room to go up. We're just getting the party started, looks like. And oh, unless you count like Elliot. What are you doing, Elliot? You always count that 1, 2 weird. 3 wave, 4 wave, a 5 wave, which could go up a lot higher. And he can change his mind too. Elliot, you're kind of weird that way. I look for 3 humps on a trend line as a general rule. Doesn't happen every time. Sometimes you just get 2, right? Maybe it's because Elliot's kind of weird. 458, 496. Next 2 targets I'd be looking for that. And we just did that, right? We just did the AB equals CD. Yeah, it takes us right there. As well as the 886 retracement. So it says Thursday from Friday is where or what originally planned. Okay. So tomorrow is Friday. I'm kind of curious what they're going to do. Bitcoin is sitting still over here right above the 786. Hasn't lost it. That's interesting, and I just wonder how we're going to play this. Are we going to kind of hang out here over the weekend, or are we going to start dipping below during the weekend, get everybody scared, and then we're going to do something else? They've got some choices right here. Look, this is our original trend line, and this is our new trend line on the 2-hour time frame. So if we were to lose this, we would be looking at coming back, testing about the 100,000 area and testing this trend line. And we could still recover and do just fine. And we might lose it over what's it being Friday. I'm kind of curious how it's going to work out. Still looking at a 105, 106 area, just depending on what chart that you're using. It's coming just on what exchange. Those are the next areas that are coming up. I don't know. We go into the weekend. There will be some movements happening tomorrow. We'll see if it's bullish or bearish, what they decide to do. And then we see what they do on the weekend, which is sometimes opposite. Weekends are kind of a wild card. They're kind of fun. And either they will fakely try, drive the prices up and try to get us to chase so that they can dump on us and take our money later on. That's one of the scenarios. Or they drive prices down and get you scared to sell, and then they start bumping it back up on Sunday night saying, I got you, bitch. Gotcha. So it's be cautious when we're going to the weekend, and I don't trust the price action. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't trust price action when we go into the weekend and when we come out of the weekend. And so you got false move Mondays, which it was, and then you also got false move Fridays, which a lot of times they are, and tomorrow's Friday. And sometimes it's Thursday. They want to mess us up on a Thursday, get us bullish on a Thursday and Friday, and then the dump us on the week. We got a lot of scenarios that we could be looking for here on the weekend, and I think it's going to be fun. But one thing's for dang sure is that these altcoins are starting to look nice and juicy, ain't they? Are you giving it up on the hour already? Y'all being shaky over here. But one last reminder, look at altcoins, man. What Total 3 did. That's impressive. That's to me, I can see some nice bullishness now coming from altcoin. Not saying it's altcoin season. No, I don't think so. It's a nice little rally. You can see some rallies, some nice things going on with Bitcoin dominance, but I can see another 50 billion coming into the market for altcoins. So let's get paid. So I say get paid. Make it rain. Let's make it rain. Why not? Where's the make it rain button? Do we have a make it rain button? Let's make it rain. Yeah. Or make it rain Bitcoin. That's what I like. Make it rain Bitcoin. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me. We'll see you again tomorrow, which is Friday. I may go during the day. I don't know yet. Depends on what else is going on in life during the day. It should be an interesting time tomorrow. And just so far, I guess we can zoom out on the daily, get a feel for it. She's looking bullish. She's got some bullish signs here, man. Look at your MACD. Look at your MACD. Look what happened there. Duck lifted up to the upside. Nice, strong. It's looking good. This is real so far. We're just trying to figure out how far she can go and then what she's planning on doing after. And so the theory is either we go up just a little higher and get rejected, and then we're going to look for a higher low, and it could be deeper than what some people expect, like 80s, high 80s, low 90s. Or we're going to go for the higher high and go for the gutso and go to 111, maybe 114,000. We kind of got those two scenarios. They're both bullish, really. They're both bullish. We're above 100,000 right now. That's amazing. And even if we do go up to 111, 114, we're going to at least test the range up here down to 100,000. We'll do that a couple of times too. It won't be the last time to get at 100, I don't believe, just yet. Until that one day it's not, and you say, "You suck, road dog. You said it wasn't going. You said we were going to come back, and we never did. We just kept going." And that will be the day that we say, "Oh, gosh, we finally made it. Been waiting for 4 years to see up only." All right. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Again, promise we're trying to leave. Go to the end screen over here. Thanks for hanging out. If you're not familiar, all the music that we listen to is, most of the music is available on Spotify, Amazon, YouTube Music, wherever you Check out your music. Stream your music. Ask for songs by Road Dog Crypto.
Digital whisper says hold tight, but I'm losing faith in the night. When moon crypto, when moon, I'm so tired of waiting. Everyone is capitulating. I keep hanging on to my dream, but nothing is as it seems.
Thank you guys. Don't have a show without you guys.
Screens flash by, staring blank into the sky. Echoes of fortunes will pursue, but shadows keep blocking my view. When moon crypto, when moon, I'm so tired of waiting. Everyone is capitulating. I keep hanging on to my dream, but nothing is as it seems. Pacing halls of shattered belief, wandering through
Thanks for hanging out, Ruben. Appreciate it. Thank you, Chris. I'll see you guys later. Let's go out and try to make that money where we can.
behind these bars. When moon crypto, when moon, I'm so tired of waiting.
Good night, John boy.